What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I am LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated, right? So, it's pretty much off season right now. Rookies have reported this week, so things are about to get rocking and rolling for the season, right? With the New York Giants, looking forward to pretty much having another great season. They made it to the playoffs last year, so now we're looking to pretty much build on that to where going forward, now we can go a little further in the playoffs, right? The Giants have added on a lot of pieces, so it's going to be an extremely exciting season. They were able to sign Dexter Lawrence. They were able to sign Daniel Jones, but they were unable to sign the key cog, who I feel is their best player on their team, and Saquon Barkley, right? The deadline was Monday, July 17th, to get an extended deal done, but they were unable to do so, right? There was a lot of reasons, a lot of things out there. People are saying about money, guaranteed money. It's a lot of different things, right, that a lot of people feel is the reason why they could not get this deal done. Now, I have my perception, right? But what was awesome about all this is that, I don't like to listen to other people or hear what other people have to say. I like to hear from the horse's mouth. And that's what we got. On July 11th, Saquon Barkley did an interview with the Money Matters podcast. Just want to say it right, with Jack Mahlers. There's a new podcast out there. He was able to talk about a lot of different things, touch on a lot of different topics. Most importantly, of course, the contract and what he feels he's worth. What he feels he shouldn't take less than. He feels what his market value is. And it's a lot of different things talked about in the podcast, right? I'll leave a link down below for you guys to go take a look at that podcast and listen to the interview in its whole entirety, right? I think it's great. It's a great listen. Saquon touches on a lot of different topics. Jack, and I forget the co-host's name, who was also there, talk about a lot of different things as far as money goes, right? What's important. He's saying that, the NFL is a non-for-profit organization. A lot of different things they were able to touch on. But what most people want to hear is Saquon's point of view and why he feels the way that he feels. Why he didn't sign the deal. What his plans are, possibly what his plans could be if he didn't take the deal. What he's open to doing, what he's not open to doing. It was great. It was really, really good. I'm going to go straight to it for you guys to listen to. But there was a key point in the interview where Saquon mentioned what he felt he could do, which I think is very important, and I want you guys to listen to.
I'm not playing for my work, or saying if I have to play under, because this is my leverage. My leverage is I can say fuck you to the Giants. I can say fuck you to my teammates and be like, you want me to show you my worth? You want to show you how valuable I am to the team? I won't show up. I won't play down. And that's a play I can use. Anybody knows me, knows that's not something I want to do. But like, it's something that crossed my mind. It's like I never thought I would ever do that. But like now I'm at a point where it's like, Jesus, like I might have to take it to this level. And like, am I willing? Am I prepared to take it to the level? I don't know.
Okay, so there he is. That's what he said. He's not sure, but maybe he's willing to take it to that level of not playing and sitting out this year. Okay, so now let's go back, right? Let's kind of go over the numbers. I know a lot of people aren't sure about this, don't really know, but the numbers are this, right? The Giants went out and they basically made an offer. Saquon talks about this in the podcast. He made an offer during the bye week. He felt that it was a low ball offer. He felt that the Giants did that because they felt they could because, he has an injury history. It was for $13 million, I believe. It was lowballing it. He didn't take the deal, and that was during a bye week. Everyone knows this. Then later on, the Giants came back with another deal, a number. I think they went up to $14 million. And now the most recent reports have come out that it wasn't, and Saquon talks about this in the podcast, it's not about the annual earnings. It's about the guaranteed money. That's what most players want in this league. So my question is, what's the guarantee that you want? Because the Giants will only guarantee $22.5 million, right? If you really want to break it down, if he's on the tag, he gets $10 million. If he's on the tag again next year, he gets $12.5, which equates to $22.5 million. So Saquon feels, he could feel, I don't know exactly, but I'm just listening to this interview, I'm making an assumption. He probably feels that they're trying to shortchange him because he knows what that is. That's basically them giving him the tag ahead of schedule. Instead of tagging him this year, and this year they're giving it to him up front, with both being guaranteed. The tag is guaranteed 10.1, and the tag next year is guaranteed 12.5. So that's his frustration. But then he says, and he said it before, he's not trying to set the market, right? The value. Okay. So if you go back, you guys can look this up. You look at the guaranteed money that all these backs are getting, right? The top backs in the league. Top back being, of course, Christian McCaffrey. He's getting the biggest money, right? He got $30 million guaranteed. That was back in 2019, I believe. Then you have, of course, the big monster out there in Tennessee, Derrick Henry, right? He got $25.5 million guaranteed, right? Then you had Zeke, who got his contract way back. He got $20 million guaranteed. Then you have Joe Mixon, who just restructured his deal. He got $10 million bonus, and he got a $10 million guarantee, which equates to altogether, let's say $20 million, right? Because the bonus is what you get up front, and guaranteed is, right? So you guys do the numbers. So he got $20 million. So now, I'm pausing, I apologize, I'm just doing these numbers. Now you're saying, okay, so where does Saquon fit? Now, guys, this is not about what he thinks he's worth, what he's not worth, what. It's just what the market is. And the frustrating part is that that's just what it is with the NFL. The game is won on the interior. Who's on the interior? Defensive line and offensive line. Then you take a step back. Who's the most important player? The quarterback. The quarterback. It's been that way since the beginning of time. So what's the keys in this league? You got to protect the quarterback, which is the O-line, and you got to get to the quarterback and sack him, which is the defensive line. Those guys get the most money. That's just what it is. That's the way the game is. Now, I get it. It's not fair, blah, 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 but that's the way the game is. Baseball, it's the pitchers. The pitchers get all the money. Everybody knows that. But everyone else in baseball get a whole lot of money, so it doesn't really matter. Right? We're all trying to teach our kids to play baseball. I get it, right? Because that's who makes the big bucks. In the NBA, it's star-driven. So all the stars get the top dollar. But sometimes if you're a good role player, you get money too. That's just the way these leagues are. But in the NFL, that's how it's done. That's what they value. And I'm sorry to say, but I haven't seen a situation, maybe in the past, where the running back was the star of the team and the team won a Super Bowl. A team is not based around that. It's not built around the running back. It's just not. It's built around a quarterback, an offensive line, and defensive line. That's how you win championships. And in this league, that's what you're driven by. The teams are driven to win a Super Bowl, to win a championship. It's not driven by anything else. Who's the biggest star that left the Giants or the Giants let go of? That was OBJ. Saquon Barkley wasn't the biggest star than OBJ. He was not. I'm sorry. And the Giants still let him go. That tells you what they value, just like most teams what they value. Look at the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings went to the playoffs. They had one of the best records in the league last year. They went to the playoffs. They lost to the Giants. But they had a great running back in Dalvin Cook that's been in 4 Pro Bowls. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards the last 4 years. They just cut him. They let him go because they cannot afford to pay that money. We talked about Christian McCaffrey, right? Christian McCaffrey, same issue. He was with Carolina. What did Carolina do? Carolina let him go. They sent him packing. They sent him to San Francisco because they did not want to pay that money. Right? You see Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon wanted big money, but he wanted to stay in Cincinnati because he likes what they're building. So what did he do with the Bengals? He restructured his contract. Right? Everybody knows Ezekiel Elliott. Feed me, right? What did the Cowboys do? They cut him. They did not want to pay that big contract. So this is around the league. Then, of course, look at Josh Jacobs, right? Look at him. He's led the league in rushing last year. He had great numbers. What happened? He still didn't get his deal, right? Just like Saquon. The league is telling you what they value. Yes, we can get upset about what's fair, what's not fair. The NFL is not for long. So you have to be in a situation, or how can I say, be in a position, no pun intended, to where you can earn the most. That's just what it is. And then what hurts Saquon too is that, he has an injury history. He tore his ACL back in 2018, I believe. No, not 2018. I'm sorry. About 2020. I apologize. Tore his ACL. Then he had an ankle injury. Right? So he's had his bumps and bruises. Where these other guys, if I'm correct, Dalvin Cook hasn't had an injury history. He's fine. He might have had a couple of bumps and bruises, but not ACL. And they cut him. And he's a high producing guy. Listen, that just tells you what it is in this league. I don't know what number Saquon is asking for, but 22.5 seems pretty fair if that's what it was. Considering his injury history, right? And considering just what the market is, no one's gonna pay him $30 million guaranteed. That's not gonna happen today. The Chiefs just shown that they can win a Super Bowl without a top-tier back. The Eagles went far. They had Miles Sanders, right? They let him go. They're not willing to pay him. So that tells you what the league is focused on. It's quarterback-driven, offensive line-driven, defensive line-driven. I've said this before. That's just what it is. Yes, we can get upset. We can get mad. We feel like it's not fair. That's football. That's what it is. So 22.5, if that's what it was, seems pretty fair. Considering Saquon's injury history and considering what the market is. I don't know. What say you? All right, but listen, I'm going to leave a link down below. Please check out the podcast. It's pretty good. Saquon breaks down a lot of different things here. But, yeah, I think he should have took the deal. I think he should have. Because there's no way I think he's getting 25.5 like Derrick Henry. He's not. He hasn't produced at the clip that Derrick Henry has. He just hasn't. I'm sorry, he just hasn't. And I think McCaffrey. I think he got off like a fat rat, like a thief in the night. He was able to steal the money from Carolina because no one else was going to pay him $30 million guaranteed. He just was able to do that in Carolina. And Carolina realized they made a mistake, and they shipped him off. So what say you? All right, please leave your comments down below. I'm also going to leave the link. And you guys let me know, what do you think? Is Saquon being a little greedy? He says he's not. I don't know. I feel everybody has a right to make their own choice and feel what they need to do, what they feel is best for their family. But we got to be honest here about what the demands are in regards of the market and what's best for the backs and also to what's best for you. You got to put all that together and come in the middle. But I don't know. You guys let me know. All right. I'm LV Live, and that's my show. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button, hit that like button, people. Right. Also, too, please leave comments so we can go back and forth and debate. All right. I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out, people. Peace.